Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm back. It feels like I've been gone forever. It's only actually been 5 months, but this even kind of feels a bit weird talking to the camera again. It's been a while. I've been filming little clips here and there, but not talking to you like this, so I feel like I'm a bit out of practice, so please bear with me. Yeah, I think I needed the break, but it's nice to be back. And today is actually my birthday, so I thought, what better day to start YouTubing again, so why not? We're back and I'm excited. I've got some good videos planned and I've got lots of clips that I filmed last year that I never got around to showing you, so I'll be putting those little clips in upcoming videos. So let's catch up. So we last chatted towards the end of November, so we were looking forward to Christmas and being able to see family again, or at least we thought so, and then of course it all changed and we were on our own. But I feel so grateful to have the kids at home with us still, and we had some really lovely family times together.
It is funny actually seeing it after just watching all the films.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe they both get low.
Look!
It's so cute, look at them all.
Oh!
They're adorable.
Around Christmas and the New Year, we did a big jigsaw puzzle again, which has now become a little bit of a tradition for us. And of course we still did all the decorations and everything like that, even though it was only us that was going to see it. I just enjoy the decorating. It makes the house so pretty. I mean, who wouldn't want a reason for even more fairy lights and pretty sparkles and that sort of thing. And then January came along with going into full lockdown here. Now at this time of year anyway, I feel pretty low. I hate being cold. I hate the short daylight hours and the dreary weather. Although we did have a day of actual snow, which breaks up the monotony a bit. So at the beginning of the year I did what I always do, and I boost the heating up in my studio and I get creative and I get really busy. I have been sewing loads. I've been figuring out new designs that I'll be able to make a bit quicker than my big fancy Fairytale ball gowns. And I finished filming the sewing course you might remember me talking about last year, and I'm close to finishing the edits for all the videos, so it should be ready quite soon. If you think you might be interested in that, I'll leave the link to my newsletter below so you'll hear about it the minute it's ready. I'm really excited about that, and of course I'll talk to you more about it nearer the time. And then we started finally getting signs of spring and longer days. It was unusually dry here in Somerset in late February, early March sort of time. So Rain and I actually spent a lot of time in the garden clearing away all the brambles. If you've been watching my vlogs, you'll know, like pretty much every summer I'm just battling with the brambles. That's all the gardening I ever seem to do. It's just, anyway, it was a mammoth task. I've got footage to show you of like the before and after transformation, but I'll show you the whole of that another time. But it was good to be outside and doing something that felt really productive and just nice. Yeah, it was nice to be outside. And now the leaves and flowers, the plum trees are blossoming around the garden, and it's just wonderful to watch and take notice of all the new growth. We celebrated Ostara, the spring equinox. I did a little egg hunt like I normally do. And since that day my mood has actually significantly lifted. I feel different since then. I think I've borrowed some of the earth's enthusiasm or something. The clocks have gone forward and the days are longer, and although the weather here hasn't been brilliant lately, we've definitely had better springs than this. We are still getting a few days of sunshine here and there, and just the extra light makes me feel so happy. We did of course put a few decorations out for Easter, and we did a big egg hunt for each other on Easter Day, and we changed up the decor inside to suit spring, which means it now feels cheerier and sort of more floral inside the house as well, which is nice. So that brings you more or less up to date with everything. Please let me know in the comments, let me know below what you've been getting up to. I'd love to find out what you've been doing in the last few months. I mentioned how being busy and getting creative, how it's really got me through this lockdown and just winter and all the miserableness. So let me know if you've been doing any hobbies, if you've taken up anything new, any new crafts or anything, or if not, if you've just been watching Netflix, let me know your Netflix recommendations, because that is always useful. Sorry about this creaky chair. You know that new chair I got last spring? Oh my god, it's creaky. I just feel like I'm, yeah, creaking a lot, which might have something to do with my new age. Yeah, as well as sewing for threads of a fairy tale. I've been working on that novel that I might have mentioned occasionally. I've been writing it for years. My productivity has tailed off a little bit lately with that, but no, I'm still cracking on with it, and I'm still keeping it in my mind all the time, which is good, because then I keep coming up with improvements I think I can do on it. I've also been doing a bit of drawing practice, which I always, every January, I put in my goals list to make more time for that sort of thing, and yeah, I've definitely got better over the last couple of years with that, and that's just been fun. It's just been fun to do that. I just like the feeling of drawing, if that makes sense. Which kind of leads me on nicely to showing you my main birthday present, which I'm really excited about. I'll show you, I'll get that out in a second. Yeah, I've had a nice birthday so far. It's just, I'm just trying not to feel the pressure of feeling like I should be relaxing today. I know that's stupid, I know. But I keep thinking, oh, the day is going by, have I relaxed enough yet? Anyway, yeah, I went to the garden centre earlier on. And I bought myself a few plants. They had forget-me-nots. It's so hard to find forget-me-nots. They just always give you a packet of seeds, and I've never successfully grown forget-me-nots from seed. So I was pleased with that. In fact, I'll show you in a minute what I managed to get from the garden centre. Although it was so sad looking around. Obviously they've not had the staff in, because they only opened again I think on Monday. It's now Wednesday. And so many plants that had just died from lack of watering. It was so sad. So yeah, a lot of the plants weren't worth buying, but I think I managed to pick out a few nice things. So I need to make sure I plant them. I'm very good at buying plants, not so good at actually planting them. Oh, that has reminded me, actually I do want to go out and water them. I should have done that already, so I'll take you with me. Yeah, just to prove that I'm out of practice, all of that last chat was in the wrong setting, so I hope it was okay, I don't know. So this is what I got at the garden centre earlier. So the main one, which I still haven't watered yet, was that. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, Prunus Tico. Anyway, it's a vigorous evergreen, which, yeah, back to the traffic. I don't know, I looked at old photos of when we first moved here, I think I've mentioned this before, sorry if I'm repeating myself when you watch last year's videos, but we used to have like a bramble hedge that came up to like that level and like was pretty good at shielding the road and the windows of the people opposite. But it just seemed to have just all died and thinned out. And I've got two eucalyptus here, which are now far too tall to be any use. And unfortunately, a tree surgeon messed me about and let me down. And now all the plants below have grown up and are going to be in the way of hopefully the next guy that comes. Anyway, yeah, this bit here has totally sort of collapsed in, so I need to repair that makeshift fence barrier to the road, and I'm going to plant that evergreen right here, or possibly right here. I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. Bay trees are good for this. Look, nice and bushy, looks nice, but not hardy enough. It died for about 3 years and then randomly came back to life because it didn't like the snow, so I don't want to risk another bay tree really. Okay, so I've got 3 pinks or dianthuses, pink kisses. I thought they looked pretty, they look sweet. Here are all the forget-me-nots. I'm going to put those up the side of the garden and hopefully they'll seed themselves. I've given plenty of compost around them this time. They had 2 of these which I was so pleased about. Okay, I'll just show you again. I'm just going to show you the name. But I see these daisies everywhere in the summer and they are so pretty and I can never find them in a garden centre. So here they are. I've got 2. I think they're going to survive. Those were the only 2 they had. I probably would have got more if I could. I got this randomly because I need a bit more ground cover and this looks promising for that purpose. Hopefully it's slug retardant. Oh my god. There's no traffic for a second and then there's a blimmin' aeroplane. And lastly, geranium. Geraniums do very well in our garden and I've been looking for this variety for a while. We've got one that we inherited from the previous owners, but it's got sort of less and less happy, I suppose, in the last few years. So I'm very pleased to have found a replacement. They're really pretty lilac flowers and this one's quite a tall one, so it's just nice to have that variety of height in the flower bed. And that's it. These were only, I mean, you can see the prices of all the others. Going to that garden centre is like going to IKEA, like when you go to the tills thinking you've only bought some candles and some scissors and it comes to £150. It's like at this garden centre, like these forget-me-nots were only £1.80 each, but this lot still came to £60. But it's my birthday, so you know, I'm so happy with the forget-me-nots. I think they're just so pretty and dainty. Pineapple and walnut for me and Rain. Chocolate for Chris and Jude. Weird talking to camera again. Right, so the thing I was gonna tell you about and show you, one of the things anyway, is a book that was on my wish list that Chris bought me called The Painted Art Journal by Gian Oliver. I don't want to, it's probably French, I don't want to butcher the accent. I've got a feeling I'm really going to like it, and I found this lady and I loved her style, so yeah, looking forward to reading that. I wanted to show you a bit more about that and talk about a bit more about that, but that will have to be another video, I think, because time's getting on. Don't you hate it when your birthday day just flies by? I've been making the cake, it's now in the oven. The cakes rather, the 2 cakes. While that's cooking, I thought I would show you my main present from Chris, which is this box. Oh, I should have kept the packaging on because then you would have seen it a bit better. It's the Derwent fine art pencils, and this is a set of 72 watercolour pencils. I'm so excited about this. I did choose it. It is something I chose, so I knew it was coming, and I spent ages researching which type of pencil. I am loyal to Derwent since the age of, let me think, 7. Probably the age of 7. We went to the Lake District on our family holiday And if you are a certain class, then you'll do a Lake District holiday and you'll go to the Beatrix Potter Museum and you'll go and do some guided walks around the hills, and you'll go to the Derwent Pencil Museum. I can't remember which comedian said these things, and it just made me laugh. Don't you just love it when you come across someone else that's just done the same things as you? Anyway, I really loved this pencil museum, and I bought some art supplies there because they have them quite cheap in there. They had like a seconds shop as you go out of the, you know, the gift shop. And then I think later the same year, or possibly a year later, I was definitely year 4, so I would have been 7 to 8. I went with the guides, the girl guides, because my mum was a guide leader, to the National Art Gallery. And in that gift shop they had a set of Derwent pencils, and I begged my mum for them for my birthday that year, and she actually got them for me, which I was so amazed about. And I've still got them, I still use them, and they're my favourite pencils. So anyway, gosh, this is really rambling. I'll have to try and curtail that a little bit, I suppose. You know when you discover something young, you sometimes become loyal to that brand, that company, for the rest of your life. So I am a fan of Derwent. When I open this case, I feel like there should be some like gold light and ta-da music as I open it. I've never had a set of 72 before, but wow, the range of colours in a 72 set is amazing. So yeah, Derwent do all kinds of different pencils if you haven't come across them before. I really didn't know which ones to get. They've got different types, and on the website it isn't necessarily clear what the difference is between the sets, so I've been looking on YouTube videos and blogs to try and figure out. And in the end, I have a set of graphitint pencils which you can use like watercolour pencils, and I had a go with those recently and I really enjoyed it, and I thought actually maybe it's the watercolour pencils that I want, not the ordinary. Well, I say ordinary, they're like 4 or 5 sets of professional colouring pencils. So I've gone for the watercolours and I'm so excited to use these. Right, so I thought I would have a go with these in my Jane Davenport art journal. I'm going to use this as a colouring book to try out these pencils because I have to be in a sort of right frame of mind, have plenty of time when I'm gonna sit down and draw. I'm really working on this. I'm trying not to be sort of precious about my drawing and my drawing time, but I do put a little bit of pressure on myself when I start a drawing. I want it to look good at the end of it. I struggle with the possibility of it turning out rubbish and then being really disappointed. So as it's my birthday, I don't want to have that challenge in the back of my mind, or I just want to enjoy it. I just want to get out the pencils and have fun. So that's why I'm going to use this. I talked a bit more, I've got another video that I did last year about Jane Davenport and her supplies. A bit difficult to come across in art shops in England, but you can find them on Amazon and some online retailers I found. So I used this book a lot actually this time last year when we first went into lockdown. I found it quite therapeutic because you just don't have to worry about getting things right in here. And I know also on a blank page you don't have to worry about getting things right, but I struggle with that in my mind. So that's why I love this book and I really recommend it. And she's got a few others actually which I've been really tempted to buy, but I'm determined to finish this one before I start another. So without any more ado, I'm gonna get started with my new watercolour pencils. I'm just gonna check on the cake. So the light has had to go on, I'm afraid. The natural light is almost gone. So here's a close-up of the gorgeous pencils. These, oh, they're magnetic. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, very quick review so far. This paper is actually, I don't know, maybe I'm wetting it more than usual, but it's doing really badly with the watercolour today. I have used watercolours before on this paper, I'm sure I have, but yeah, it's really not, is that watercolour? I can't remember now. Yeah, that's water, that's Inktense. Perhaps I am using a little bit more water than usual, but didn't cope very well with the face at all. Yeah, so far I love the blending. It blends really well. I don't know if it's the paper, because I haven't tried other watercolour pencils other than Inktense. I don't think I've tried other watercolour pencils on this paper before, so I really am having to push. It feels like quite plasticky. Yeah, it blends beautifully and it melts into the water, melts the pencil marks really well. But I'm just going to have a quick go with this. This is a cheap pad from the works. It costs £1.59, but it's what I've been using lately. I had a little bit of an experiment with some of my old pencils, watercolour pencils. I've got some Staedtler, some W.H. Smiths. Oh, so that was W.H. Smith's, that was Staedtler, and actually I think W.H. Smith's was better than them. Here is my Derwent Academy pencils that Chris bought me a sort of travel set for Christmas, and included a few Derwent Academy watercolour pencils. So it wasn't a big set, but ideal for when we go away in the camper van. I can take that set with me, so I was just having a little practice with them. As you can see the pencil marks quite clearly. They've blended together again really nicely, but the pencil marks definitely show a lot more than with these others. So I would definitely say the Derwent Academy watercolours are a more basic set. That was a copy of someone else's picture, and that was a sketch of Jude dressed as a fairy, and that is with the Derwent Graphitint pencils. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of a play, just blend some colours together just to see what it's like on this paper. You can sort of see from the back of this, it does wrinkle a bit. It's certainly not professional quality, but if you're looking for cheap watercolour paper, this is actually really good. Brunel Franklin is the brand, and yeah, it was from the works in the UK. But £1.50 for 30 sheets, 160 GSM, so not bad, and it's got a really nice texture. It feels like watercolour paper. You know, watercolours blend really nicely on it, and if it wasn't for the fact that it just has a little bit of wrinkling, you wouldn't know that it's not a professional expensive paper. Okay, I just thought I'd just mention that. I'm not going to swatch out the whole thing because that will take me forever. By the way, the works do, or at least did, sell another watercolour paper really cheaply that I bought, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's like trying to paint on kitchen towel. It's just all sort of dotty and bubbly. So if you see one with paper where you can see all like rows of dots, then steer clear of that, I would, if I were you. Okay, I completely take back what I just said about the paper. I don't know, I think I have a duff bit of paper. Look how wet. You can see how see-through this has gone around the edges of the colour. And on the back, I mean, even there it tore a little bit. So, but weirdly, I tested it again on the front, on the first page, and that was absolutely fine. Really strange. It didn't melt into the paper as much as I expected it to. It seems to have done here. I think I've got a duff sheet of paper here. I think this one is particular, it must be thinner than the others or something. So I'm going to hold off giving more of a review than that. I think I need to use better paper, because here, look, I don't know if you can see, but here I tested it, just here, I blended it, the orange and the yellow, like I had done with all the others, and it's just melted into the paper, beautifully blended. The colour spread around the paper, all around here, absolutely fine and lovely. But here, the colour didn't spread on the paper at all. So yeah, I don't want to give a review on these pencils until I've tried it on proper paper, which I haven't got time to do now because I've got to ice my cake, and then it is bedtime. It is 9:15, so I'll just leave that there. But yeah, perhaps dig out your old art supplies and have a bit of fun if you've got some lurking in the back of a cupboard, and just have a play. It's nice just to, honestly, it's nice just to make these big sweeping strokes on the page, just going like that, and just making lines and doodles, and you know, it's just a bit of fun. I just love this feeling of making lines on a page. I don't know if that's weird. I would highly recommend you just, yeah, have some fun. Have some fun with your old pencils. Right, there we are. I shall call that a day. That's that for now. Let's have cake. Well, this is me from tomorrow, from the future. I didn't want to leave it there. I didn't want to leave it. I feel like if I'm gonna do a bit more of a first impressions review, I should do it a bit more thoroughly. So I'm back in my studio now. I feel weird calling it a studio, but that seems to be the word people use for their rooms where they make stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is, which is just as well, because this is a multi-purpose study slash sewing room slash craft room slash writing room slash office. So I think studio is a good catch-all term, so I'm just going to call it a studio. Why not, even if it does sound a little bit pretentious. So the advantage here is I can have my computer screen up in front of me, and I've got my Instagram account open and a picture of some blossoms, which I think I took. I really actually can't remember where I took this photo. I've used a prism on it. I'll put it up on the screen quickly from my account. I've used a prism, so I've only really done that a few times. Anyway, I thought I would use that picture as my sort of guide for this drawing slash painting. What do you do when it's watercolour pencils? Is that a drawing or a painting? Very confusing. So anyway, this is Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour pad, and that is 300 GSM. Okay, I've just realised I should have probably started this little chat at the end when I'd already finished, so I could continue with the review, but I'm actually recording this before I've started, so I shall now get on with it and join you again when I've finished. I have to say, watercolour pencils are not for you if you're impatient, and I have to be honest, I do get a little bit impatient. So yeah, not a very big piece of paper at all, and I've been working on this for hours. Probably not hours, but for just quite a childlike result. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to practice a little bit more with the watercolour pencils and sort of learn what my style and how I'm going to find the best way to use them for me. I've got a feeling it's not going to be in covering a whole piece of paper with colour. I've got a feeling it's going to be more like having white space and doing very subtle drawings, which is, I do like doing that sort of thing. I like doing, you know, various subtle landscapes and subtle floral pictures. But I have to say, I've had a lot of fun using these, blending. They blend beautifully. Yes, it definitely did help using the proper watercolour paper, definitely. You don't lose the pencil marks entirely, which is, I like that. I like being able to see the pencil marks. I like being able to see how the picture was made. So I don't need the pencil marks to disappear like I think some people prefer to happen with their watercolour pencils. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm definitely going to enjoy learning how to use these pencils better. Back to my birthday, back to yesterday. Bye bye bye.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Well, that's the end of the day, so the end of the vlog for this week. I know probably most of you are only here for the puppy update. I'm sorry there was a lot to fit in this week, but I have been filming clips of him growing up, of all the mischief and stuff he's been getting up to, so I'll fill you in on all of that next time. Sorry to keep you waiting, and yes, he's still very, very cute, even though he's much, much bigger. So today has been lovely. It was so nice to get out. Normally Chris is the one that goes and does any grocery shopping, so I actually went in Tesco's for the first time in a while, had a little browse, bought a magazine or two, and yeah, it was just nice. It was nice to be out and about a bit, and nice to be back here talking to you again. It has been really fun today, I have to say, finding all the little angles and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be on a roll together, and we'll be carrying on with the YouTubing fun. I really appreciate you coming back and watching again, and if you enjoyed watching, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. I'd love to see you again, and I'll be back next week. See you there. Take care, everyone. Bye.